Just some casual photos on the iPhone 17 Pro in Nashville, Tennessee. Music in today's video is sponsored by Melody Music, but more on them later. Well, Apple has successfully downgraded my iPhone with system updates to where I felt backed up enough into a corner to get a new one. So, mission accomplished there, Apple. So, I decided to spend a day where I live in Nashville, Tennessee to capture some test shots on my iPhone 17 Pro. All images in this video are shot in RAW at 48 megapixels and edited solely on the native iPhone camera app, and all B-roll footage is caught on the Osmo Pocket 3. Let's get into my thoughts about this phone as it relates to photography. First off would be ergonomics, how it feels. At this rate, we all know how a cell phone feels, obviously. So I think the biggest thing to mention on the iPhone 17 Pro is the action button on the side of the phone that allows you to access the camera quickly. You can assign other commands to this action button, but for me, being a photographer, the camera app is obviously the choice. It is my favorite feature added to this phone above anything else I can mention in this video. The response is snappy and there's no lag, at least in all the times that I've used it. The button also works as a zoom rocker where you can also adjust exposure, picture profile, and things like that. When I'm walking around and I have shooting in mind, I will just rest my index finger on this action button. That way I'm ready when the moment arrives. I will say though, going from a conventional camera back to a phone, at least for the test shots in this video, it was an awkward leap, and this is no negative mark on the iPhone 17 Pro, but it is worth mentioning that when you have a conventional camera, people can write it off as like a creative pursuit, like, oh, he's just being artsy. But when you're using your phone, there's something so inherently personal about a cell phone that that feels like you're putting your neck out on the line a little more when you go to capture just nuanced everyday interactions. Again, not a negative mark on the iPhone 17 Pro at all, but something worth mentioning in this video. In the camera app, you get an ultra wide 0.5, which is a 13 millimeter equivalent. A 1 is a 24 millimeter equivalent. If you hit the 1 again, you get 28 millimeters and 35 millimeters. I'm pleased to see this because 35 millimeters is my bread and butter focal length. You also get a 2x, a 4x, and an 8x zoom feature. We have the option to shoot in RAW in either 12 or 48 megapixels. Best to leave it on HEIC if you're just taking photos of random stuff to send to friends and family or whatnot, as there's really no need to have the extra megapixels eat up space in your phone. But when you're out shooting with good shots in mind, might as well flick that sucker onto 48 megapixels in RAW for more headroom in editing. Not that I'm a big selfie guy, but I will say that they have improved features here as well. Gone are the days of having to turn your phone sideways to capture a landscape selfie. You can just hold it upright, click this button right here, and voila. Same goes if you're holding it in landscape orientation and you want portrait. Up here, you do get a cleaner menu if you want to turn on or off certain items, such as flash, live, which I hate, night mode, etc. What's new is the item removal with AI removal. I would use this feature for social media posting, removing small items and rubbish and whatnot, but not something I would use for portfolio images. That's something I'll bust out Lightroom or even Photoshop for if I have to. Melody music is who I use for my YouTube videos. I can always find a song I need for the tone of video that I'm creating. Click the link in the description of this video for a generous discount off your first year's subscription. If you really want to take your YouTube videos to the next level, at least do yourself a service by browsing their catalog at melod.ie. With the zooms, the 2x, 4x, and 8x, you might be wondering, what's actually useful versus what's just a marketing gimmick? Well, for me, I can say that I find myself using the zooms quite a bit. And again, as mentioned earlier, not necessarily for images I'd use for a portfolio, but for images that I will post to social media. When you see these images on a larger screen, a screen larger than a cell phone, you do start to notice the degradation of quality. But I will say, it's so valuable to have a tool in hand that can give you this sort of focal dexterity to post for the tights in companionship with the wides for social media posting and collages and whatnot. It's just another device to keep you more active as a photographer. And that's a pretty damn valuable thing. Portrait mode is nice. I don't have the intel available to me to give you the real A and B comparison between the older iPhones and this one. But what can I say? It looks good, especially for the common everyday photo snapper. It gives good background separation, a clean gradual divide between the subject and the background. As a photographer, if I'm going to take a photo with background blur, I'm just going to use a good prime lens. But again, for the average Tom, Dick, and Harry, it's very nice. There's this well-known idea about the iPhone look. iPhones rely on computational photography, which is stacking multiple frames, applying machine learning and tone mapping. It creates a bright and ready to share image, which relieves all of the burden from someone who doesn't know how to properly photo edit. But in Lightroom, I'm still trying to determine how much latitude that I have to de-iPhone the look of these images. That's something I plan on getting into. That way I can try to pair these up with the rest of my catalog the best I can. That way, if I do capture a great portfolio image on my phone, I don't have to worry about inconsistencies, artistically speaking. Final thoughts on who it's for. Well, what's nice about this is that if you need to upgrade your iPhone, boom, you have it. It's just kind of what comes stock anymore. So, for people who need to upgrade their phones. I still don't think there's any replacing an actual camera. Cell phone photography just has a way of muddying and blowing out highlights, even if you try to adjust the exposure. Maybe I'm just better with using a camera than I am a cell phone camera, but the ease in which I'm able to do that with a dedicated camera just is one of the many examples that will keep me using a standard conventional camera. But to have such a mighty fine tool in your pocket at all times, such as the iPhone 17 or iPhone 17 Pro, we've never lived in a better time for cell phone photography. I would put its video features into a whole different category, but that's another video for another time. I'll end on this. Since the iPhone 8, I've not been excited about iPhones. I really haven't. They've done nothing in the ways of not feeling buyer's remorse within milliseconds of buying it. But there has been some lasting power to this iPhone 17 Pro. They've added a little bit more features and a little more sauce in the photo and video end of things that make this feel more exciting to me, and that make me feel as if there is still room for improvement when it comes to cell phone photography. And I hope that they continue to do that moving forward. Anyways, if you took anything from this video or liked any part of it, please actually like it with your fingers and give me a subscribe. YouTube for me is just a fun hobby for now, and I would like to see myself get to 1,000 subscribers so I could keep making and sharing free content such as this. Anyways,